Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Accu-Stats Video Productions, we'd like to welcome you back to the 2013 Southern Classic Tournament, coming to you live here at Harrah's Tunica. This is day number 6 of our 9-day event. We're in 9-ball division to open up this morning. This will be our first match in round number 2. Before we begin, as always, I'd like to take a moment to say how much we appreciate not only all you Accu-Stats supporters out there, but our signature sponsors as well, Diamond Billiard Products, Aramuth, and Simonis. Thanks for all you do to make professional pool happen. Okay, here we go. Our first competitor is from Glasgow, Scotland. Already this year, he has runner-up finishes in both the Jay Swanson and Chet Ito Memorial Tournaments. He's already a force in the short time that he's been here. Look out, America. He's going to be around for a long time. Sponsored by Lucasi Hybrid and Kamui. We call him Eagle Eye. It's Jayson Shaw. And his opponent comes to us from The Hague in the Netherlands. He's a former Derby City 9-ball champion. He's a former World Straight Pool champion. Already this year, he has 2 victories in the Dynamic Austrian Open and the Dynamic European 9-ball championships. He's sponsored by Gabriel, Longoni, and Kamui. We call him the Terminator. It's Niels FEIJEN. All right, here we go. 1 race to 9. Rack your own. Winner breaks. We're going to go ahead at this time and send it upstairs to the booth to David Maddox and to Hall of Famer Danny DiLiberto. Take it away, gentlemen.
Accu-Stats Video Productions presents the 2013 Southern Classic. Welcome, everyone. I'm David Maddox, and joining me in the booth for the terrific commentary for this 9-ball match, Danny DiLiberto. Danny, it's early, but a great match in store.
Yeah, well, as Kenny was saying, Shaw has made a big impression in this country, especially on the East Coast. He showed up there and started beating everybody around there, and he's had some high finishes. And of course, Neil's been around a while, you know, very well-conditioned man. He worked out already today, and he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, we talk about frequently, especially the European players take the fitness element of pool more seriously than I think probably any other part of the country, and it really shows not only you know, in their appearance, but when it gets down to the the last few days of a tournament, long, grueling event, that fitness really comes into play.
Well, I'll tell you a good example of that is my good friend, the late Steve Miserak. He got way out of shape, and he couldn't win tournaments anymore because on the final day he was in no condition to play 3-4 matches, which you have to do sometimes. So I like that. I believe good physical condition, your mind is sharp. Well, he won the lag.
Jayson Shaw from Glasgow, Scotland, and as you mentioned, he's already made a significant impression. And you know, the European players that have so much experience playing snooker, playing 9-ball on a 4.5 by 9, it just looks like they're just never going to miss. They play with so much confidence and they're so fluid. And you know, he's come up dry on the first break, and Niels has a decent opportunity, especially if the 2-ball passes the 3, which he's looking at right now.
Yeah.
Well, he does have some other options as well. He could possibly play the 2-5 combination, which he hasn't looked at yet. But he could also potentially play the billiard 2-5, and let's see which route he chooses.
Well, he is definitely going to try to go to the 2 in that corner. He was eyeing up to see if it passes. I'm sure it does. I believe that's the direction he's going to go. 2 rails. He's going to get to it pretty good. Okay, does the 3 pass anything, or will that be the combination? I don't know if the 3 passes in the side. He's looking, I don't know what he's looking at. He was pointing at the balls. I mean, he's going to make the 2. What do you do with the 3?
I'm really kind of surprised that he started pointing like that, but I guess he's going to play the 5 billiard off the 3 if he just stops the cue ball right there.
Well, this is a good shot. Awful thin hit, but you'll control the 3. You'll have the 3 in the corner he just played the 2 in. But part 1 is got to fan this ball pretty thin.
The real benefit here, in addition to making the 5, is that he's going to be close to the 3 and just have to draw back for the 4 ball. And he can control not only the cue ball, but the object ball pretty well here as well.
Well, he got a little bit of the wrong angle. He may have to go forward 2 rails. I don't think that 4 ball passes the 9. So he would like to be a little bit south of the 7.
Yeah, anywhere between the 9 ball and the 7 with the cue ball is going to be in really good shape.
Well, he went 2 rails, and he's going to do that pretty nicely, you know. And to get to the 6, you have to get on the 4 like he did, pretty full.
I like intentionally playing the cue ball into the 9, using the 9 to block, and that does 2 things. One, not only stopping position on the 6, but also that's going to make the route from the 8 to the 9 a little bit easier. Let's see if he bumps a 9 ball out.
He did, and it controlled us to the 6 perfectly. I see no problems now. He's going to get to the 7 and decide. Like to get close as he could to the 8, and he's got the angle to do it. He's going to draw this ball, I believe, or is he going to play in the side?
Yeah, just a foot or so over.
Beautiful.
And just that's ball in hand position from the 8 to the 9.
Yeah, he got perfect. Yeah, he was practicing for about an hour earlier, and he was hitting them pretty good. Shaw got here a little late. I hope he's capable of making a match out of this.
Well, Niels FEIJEN takes the early lead in this race to 9, 1-0. And if for the viewers that see the little tan oval underneath the game score, a little bit later on we're going to be showing you running stats. And of course, for the initiated, you know that Accu-Stats originally started as a statistical analysis of 9 ball, and that's what we're going to be able to show you. And you know, you know what I think is so important about that is, especially for the growth of pool, is that especially the United States market, we are such a statistics-oriented sports consumer, and when you can start putting statistics to 9 ball, it makes it, you know, not only more fun, but it makes it easier for a person that's not quite as familiar to recognize really superior play.
Yeah, it becomes a kind of a rating system, and of course 900 or better is really professional, and it usually wins. So anyway, in another rack we will start giving you that figure, and then it'll change every ball. You know, it's how many balls you make, keeps track of that. Position errors, miss, bad safeties, and a break, you know, and points come up, and it's a very good rating thing. So anyway, we're going to start giving you those numbers now, every ball.
We're having just a little bit of a technical delay. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I think it may be either the shot clock situation, which for the viewers, you can see that on 3 sides of the Accu-Stats arena, there is a shot clock. And in the 9 ball event, you have 40 seconds from the time you come to the table to take your shot. In 9 ball, you have 1 extension per game. And again, you have 40 seconds to complete your inning, or that particular shot. So,
And you get an extra one if you need it. You have to call it before you get on to 0. Right now we're trying to get it to 40. That's 40 seconds, and we're having a little trouble with that. It's holding up our match a little bit, but I guess not. Neil's going to shoot without the shot clock. He's a pretty fast player anyway. I don't think it would come up, but it's nice to have. Oh, look at this. He got position, but it looks like the 5-9 are a little tied up.
Yeah, difficult to tell. He's looking right now to see if the 5 ball goes in the upper left-hand corner. We know it certainly goes in the upper right-hand corner, but he's going to have a little bit of work to do. He's going to have to do some traveling to get from the 3 to the 5. And
Well, that's how good these players are, by the way. You know, he's shooting the 1 and worrying about the 5. And something to worry about. You know, you want to see just where you have to get to pocket that ball. And it's a little confusing right now because I don't think you can just hit it and make it in that corner.
well, one thing he may do, and this is something that will come up in the Accu-Stats, is that when he shoots the 1 to the 3 to the 5, he may play what we refer to as a pre-planned safety. And that just means that when he shoots the 3 and gets on the 5, he may know going in that he's going to play a safety on the 5 instead of either 1, trying to play position, or 2, breaking them out and continuing his run. So let's see what path do you like here, Danny?
Well, the path, if you're going to play safe, is you got to get to where you have the easiest automatic safe, and it's like as good as running out if you fall on the go. See, he played for the 5 in one of the corners. It did not pass the 9, but he has a shot, but he would have loved to have been straight in on it somewhere so he could control it to the 6.
Well, the automatic safety here, if he wants to shoot it, is to just stick the cue ball right there, which is what I think he'll do.
Yeah, he is. He's jacking up. Stick, freeze him behind the 9. And the closer you put him to the ball, the 9, the one he's using to snooker him with, the less kicking paths he has. That's the whole idea. You want to snooker the guy like perpendicular, so you take away a lot of the kicks. And let's see, he might have a kick spinning the ball, but it's not going to be easy.
Well, the best kickers in the game are definitely the Filipinos, and the Europeans not really far behind, and that comes as part of their snooker background.
Well, the tournament we finished, the 10 ball, was won by a European. Carl Boyes, he won it, played good, beat Shane Van Boning, and nobody's been doing that in a final match.
No.
So Europeans are right up there in the world rankings. Okay, ball in hand, that's nice. Whenever you have ball in hand, that'll make it easy to get to the next ball. Here's Jayson.
He's going to shoot the 5 ball and go down beyond. He was looking at playing position beyond the 9 ball, so he'll just roll the cue ball straight down 5 or 6 inches past the 9. I'll go to the end rail first.
That's a good shot, and it's a little bit of a gamble because, for a little time, you're going behind the 9, and I always recommend going the path of less snookerdom, if you understand that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he got perfect because now this is great position when all you got to do is make the ball and you're on the next one. Nothing to do but make the 6. He's going 1 rail to the 7 in the side. Great plan. And he's trying to get an angle on the 7 so he can get to the 8. That's how you got to play, angle for angle. It doesn't work 1-2. It's really in 3s. He got the perfect angle where all he's got to do is make the 7. He's falling on the 8. And he'd like to have a little angle, but it wouldn't matter here where the 9 is. And he did get a little angle. He could draw the ball and play the 9 in the same pocket, or he can go forward and play it in the other corner. That's what I think he's doing. No, he's going to play one pocket, play them both in the same pocket. Good shot.
And with the pocketing of the 9, Niels FEIJEN from The Hague, Netherlands, extends his lead to 2-0. And while it's early, I do want to mention some of our signature sponsors, Diamond Billiard Products. Greg Sullivan has been a pioneer in the game for 20 years, 25 years, and really done a great job. Not only, you know, it's his passion obviously is the game, and he really wanted to start it out to make the best table, and so he's definitely accomplished that. But he's also expanded that from a promotion standpoint. Everyone knows the Derby City Classic, my personal favorite tournament of all. Yeah, I mean, you get 9 days of nonstop everything that you want there. And of course, now expanding it into the Southern Classic, we also have Aramuth billiard balls and Simona's cloth. If you have those three things, a diamond table, Simona's cloth, and Aramuth balls.
And Kamui chalk.
And Kamui chalk.
Kamui chalk is expensive, but it's worth every penny. It really is. I have it. A lot of the players have it. It causes less deflection. You can use a hair English, and you're not going to miss the object ball because it deflected a little. No, it's worth every quarter. Great invention. Everybody should have one. That's one of our sponsors also. Well, you got a good angle here.
He's gonna have to do a little traveling from the 4 to the 5 ball, but he's fallen perfectly on the 4. I think he'll just go to the side cushion and back to right under where he is right now, just beyond the side pocket, and have shape from the 5 to the 6.
You know, it would be nice if he didn't get straight, which he didn't. So now he does have a path to go to the 6. I think it'll be 2 rails to his right. Like to get pretty straight on that 6. That'll bring him to the 7. Pretty good shot.
He's overshot the mark.
Yeah, he has. Now, this is what it's a game of inches. Had he got that straight in or little angle, he would have went to the 7. Now he's got work to do.
And the reason he has this work is because he didn't play the position route that you were talking about. If he plays 2 cushions, the 2 cushion route from the 5 to the 6, he stays on the position line a whole lot longer.
Right. He had a bigger path to the pocket, you know, and that was position. That's the whole story. You know, he went a little bit diagonal and he crossed it. Well, he went 3 rails, and he did that pretty well, so that overcomes the bad position on the 6. Now he's got the angle, he can bounce, shoot the 8 in the same pocket as the 7. Well, he'll play the 9 in the same pocket as the 8 and the 7. Like I said, he's playing one pocket with the last balls.
Yeah.
Oh, he underhit that a little bit, because you don't want to be on the rail. The only thing can go wrong here is getting on the rail. Right. Tougher to hit center cue ball when you're on the rail.
No problem, and now Niels extending his lead to 3 games to 0. Well, so far it looks like the only thing that Jayson Shaw has been able to do is lag, win the lag, break, and kick once at the 5 ball.
Yeah.
So,
you see the TPA here? Niels is shooting 1,000 because he's done nothing wrong.
So right now, Niels shooting a perfect 1,000. That means he has 27 balls and no errors.
And of course, Shaw doesn't have any score yet. Until he pockets balls, he won't have. Of course, we've had people shoot 1,000 for a whole match, but we've never had him win 1,000 to 0. Real great break. Controlled the cue ball. Well, that didn't help much. You know, he was sitting pretty good until something hit the cue ball. So I don't know. He can hit the 2, but I think we're going to see a safe. Yeah,
Which direction do you like the safety here?
Well, I like rolling the 2 sort of at the 5 ball and just going forward a hair. That
Is he
should do
going
it.
by? Is he using the 9 to block?
I don't think so. Oh, you're right. He went perfectly behind the 9. Yeah, I thought he was just going to go behind the 3 and 6, which he did anyway, but he did it even a little better getting behind the 9.
Yeah, that blocks off the right-hand side cushion. Now, it looks like Jason's
that.
going to... He snugged him up pretty nicely to the 9. Great camera work. Thank you
With
so much.
beautiful colors.
Well, he's looking at kicking. He'll either go to the end rail, side rail, and then to this end rail. That's just what he's looking at.
Well, he didn't hit it.
But it didn't hurt him immediately, but it's going to hurt him after this shot because Niels is going to play a safety once again, shooting the 2 ball up table and leaving Jayson stuck on the back of the 5 ball.
Well, he's thinking about it. I guess he's going to play the safe, try to get him on 3. You know, Niels had a little bit of a funny roll last night, you know, in the 1-packet tournament. He fouled 3 in a row to lose the case game and the match. That was freaky. He finished pretty high, though, in the 1-packet, you know, and that's great because they don't play it in the Netherlands.
Top 5 or 6, top 5, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Not
That's a great
finish.
finish. Great finish.
But he's still in the 9 ball. Of course, we got a lot of players left. I don't know exactly how many. This is the 2nd round of the 9 ball. Well, you know, he does have a shot at the 2 in position if he wants to run out instead of the 3 in a row. I like that. You know, you can't depend on the 3 in a row with good players. He's going to go forward and play position. No, he didn't. Wrong again, DiLiberto. But that was a case of your choice. You know, he thinks he can get him on 3 in a row. I don't think so. It's awful tough to do with champion players.
Well, he's, you know, I don't think he's going to try to 3-foul him, but he put the 2 ball in a position that's going to be easy if he gets ball in hand to go from the 2 to the 3. So Jayson's going to kick 2 cushions at the 2. He made a good hit.
But actually, you know, the call you just made, he had pretty easy position 2 to the 3 before he played safe. But he's going to get another chance. But this is a little tougher to play position for than the shot he had when he played safe. He's got to go 2 rails. He's got obstructions. If he hits it too hard, he isn't going to like it, but he hit it perfect.
Niels' stroke is so pure. I mean, I really, really love to watch him play. The shot he just made had to hit that ball with high and just a touch of inside and hit it so smoothly and, you know, sending the cue ball 7 or 8 feet. Looked, looked effortless.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have to get to the 4 now and then back to the 5. No easy task. All that considered, that could be why he was trying to get him on 3. Oh, look at this. He put the 5 in a better spot. Position will be easier now. But the shot is a little tougher. You know, if you can't just cinch the ball, it looks like you're going to go right in that right-hand corner. I think he has to draw to the rail. I don't think he can follow it and go forward very easily.
Well, he may be able to cut the 4 in the upper right-hand corner, and the cue ball draw it to the side rail and back for position on the 5.
That's what he's doing, or trying to do. See, the only problem with this is you got a little bit distance, much tougher to play position, much tougher to make the ball. That's because he didn't fall real good on the last ball.
Well, the good news for Niels is that he doesn't have to travel right here. make the 5 and
That's what he
you've
did.
got a shot on the 6.
Perfectly, and he's got an angle to get to the 8 real well. Just make the 6, you'll be on the 8. Don't want to be over the top. That's the only thing that can go wrong. You don't want to be over the top of this 9 ball, which oh, perfect. He's got the good angle to go 1 rail and close to the 9. Hit the end rail and come back along that left side, and he'll have the 9. Perfect.
And he extends his lead to 4 games to 0. And Jayson Shaw, not only yet to get on the board, he's yet to make a ball. He did make a couple of good hits, but that's it.
Yeah, I'm wondering, we don't have a minus, you know, because right now he'd be minus. Does he owe those, or does he still start at 0?
I think he starts at 0.
Yeah, I
We
would
give him
say.
the benefit of the doubt. We don't want him in negative territory.
You're right. I'm just trying to talk, but that is a point.
Another nicely controlled break by Niels. He's not going to come up with a shot on the 1. And
No,
he's going to have to push out.
which I don't like, and I keep saying it. Whenever you got to push out, try to tie up balls. That'll assure you getting back to the table because, you know, it's repetitious, but I think whoever pushes gets the worst of it with good players. So I like to tie up a ball when I push here. Make it a little more problems.
Where would you push? What would be
Well,
your objective here?
Well, maybe you can roll the 6 onto the right side of the 5 ball. Really tough to tie up balls here. And I should have said when it's possible, you tie up balls when you push. Well, he's pointing at the 8. I don't know why. Do you have any idea what he's pointing at?
He may be looking at kicking at the 1 instead of, you know, he may feel like he may be able to kick a safety right here. He could kick maybe 2 cushions at the 1, shooting it down table, because as you and I both know, if you push out, you are definitely at a disadvantage because that just allows your opponent to play safe. He may be 2-rail kicking at the 1 and playing safe himself.
Well, he kicked
Well,
2 rails. I think he's going to sell out the 1.
that's why he pointed at the 8.
He got
Maybe.
him with the 8.
He's like, okay, well,
Look at this.
wow.
Great shot.
Sure
If that's what
was.
he was trying to do, and like I always say, in pool, whatever happens, make believe you played it, because then you got a chance to look like a genius.
Well, the result, he certainly looks like a genius now. He's
Perfect.
yeah, definitely.
He played safety no matter where he was trying to put the cue ball, but he got him fair and square. Jayson has a very tough hit here, and he's left-handed, so I don't think he can kick the long way and reach it.
It looks like the only route available is below the side, between the 3 and the 9, and then to the end rail.
Good luck. He hit it. He hit it anyway.
And he wound up with a snooker himself. Now, jump cues are not allowed in the Southern Classic.
But
Yay.
you could jump with your cue.
You can jump with your playing cue. I think Niels is going to do what he did on the previous shot. 1 rail kick at the 1 and try to play safe. He does have some blocking balls. He has the 5 and the 6. If he hits the bottom side or the side closest to us, he'll get some separation between the 1 and the cue ball, and that's probably what he's looking for.
Yeah, he wants to hit the low side of the 1. The cue ball could go all the way back to the end rail if he hits this right. You know, it's going to glance past the 9 if he can hit that side of the 1. Let's see what he does. He did it. He did it. That was not an accident. Look where the ball went on the end rail. Shaw can hit it, but I don't see anything aggressive he can do.
I believe Niels is going to find himself behind the 4-ball right here. Jayson, you know, he really wants to do something offensive, but it's going to be tough from here. I think he's going to elect to play safe.
No doubt about it. And he went behind the 4 like you called. Good thing you're not in this tournament, Dave. You would have won it. You're playing,
it's still
you're
just day
playing
2.
Good. You mean you couldn't be doing these safes the whole 3 or 4 days?
No, one might slip out once in a while. I don't know.
Yeah.
I say I'd rather be watching, but I'd be lying.
Well, for you people who don't know Dave is a professional broadcaster. That's why his voice is so great for this.
I sound taller on the radio,
Oh,
too.
you don't sound like you look. Believe me.
Oh, thanks, Danny.
Well, that doesn't have to be negative.
I know.
Okay, what did he do? He pushed out.
And he took your advice.
He tied the ball up.
He tied balls up.
Sorta. Well, in straight pool, when this stuff comes up, you want to make the ball and have insurance when you do try to hit those balls. You can't just hit them on the blind, but I don't think he's going to do that right now. Is he? He did it. But you see what I meant about straight pool? Look where he wound up on the 3. In straight pool, you want a much easier shot when you go into clusters. But he's a great shot maker, and he better be because he's getting killed here.
Well, I totally I don't know about you. I totally disagree with what he did on the 1 ball. I think he should have played the 1, the 3, gotten above those balls, and maybe played a pre-planned safety or tried to break those balls out off of the 3. To try to break them out off of the 1.
On the blind, no good. You see where he wound up? A mile away from the 3 and missed, and he's in danger of losing another one. He's already 4-0 behind. His TPA is very low. This is a tough shot, but this guy's a great shooter. Look at that.
That would have gone into a thimble.
No, no problems there.
Yeah.
I think the 5 goes in either corner. And I'm only saying that because you want to go the shortest path from ball to ball. Is he going to try to go 1 rail and shoot the 5 in the same pocket?
I think so. I think he can wind up between the 5 and the...
No, he hit it.
Yeah.
That's not going to be good.
Unless it wound up wired in the side, which it looks very close. Nope, apparently not. Niels doesn't like it.
And they're not frozen, so the 6 isn't going to throw much. So I think we're going to be seeing a safety. I like just brushing it and going upstream, and maybe you'll snooker him with the 6. You see that view we had? Great camera work, but we have a great crew. He's going to fan it and try to get him with the 6, I believe. Oh, he didn't get it. And look, he's leaning on his elbows because he knows he did something wrong. He's no longer at 1,000. He got it. Yep, perfect. He drew back, and he kept that great angle to go from 6 to the 7. He's going to draw it again past the 8. Oh, but he ain't going to make the ball. You know, from the beginning, Shaw didn't look ready to play. He got here late. He didn't warm up, but that's no one's fault but his. You know you got to play at 11:30. You should be here at least by 11 to hit balls. Niels did that, but Shaw didn't. And the result could be 5-0 deficit.
Well, something I talk frequently about is just in comparison with golfers and pool players. Tiger Woods, before he goes to the first tee, he practices for over an hour. And the way he starts practicing is hitting 3-foot putts one-handed.
That's why he's the greatest golfer maybe who ever lived.
That's exactly right. And what you were referring to, Jayson Shaw comes to the match 10 minutes ahead of the, before they lag the balls and hits 2 racks of balls. And you cannot in your heart believe that you're prepared to play like that. Niels, on the other hand, like you said, he was here an hour early, hitting balls, working on his break, loosening up. And it shows the result. It shows.
Of course. Look what he just missed. He missed a real easy shot, did Shaw. And that is why he's losing 5-0.
Again, this is a race to 9. And, with great players, and Jayson Shaw definitely falls into that category, capable of coming back. But the momentum definitely on the side of Niels FEIJEN, as is the score.
The wing ball went in, but he doesn't have much of a shot. And I don't like to push, of course. I've said that over and over. So I think he's going to play safe right from here. There's no push.
I like the cross side on the 1. Stop, play automatic position on the 2. And Niels is a very good bank pool player. And the bank looks almost on. It's like a shoot and stop.
No, I think he's got to cut it a hair, and that'll make him further away from the 2. Well, he switched it in. You were right. Look where he got perfect. Now he'd like to stick right there, and he'll play the 3 in that right-hand corner. See where he's pointing? You know, I haven't seen the Europeans point. The Filipinos point all the time.
Yeah.
But Niels is pointing, and that's where he wants to get the ball. Maybe mentally it gives him a target and the right speed, the right angle, and there he is. I think he's going to go 1 rail now.
Just roll down and shoot the 4 on the side where he's standing right now.
Now, I don't know if the 5 passes the 6, but if he gets the right angle on the 4, which I think he can do, he can play the 5 in the same pocket as the 3. Let's see the angle he gets on the 4.
Perfect.
That's what he's going to do, roll forward, and in case the 5 doesn't pass the 6, it goes in the other pocket. 6 is close by, so he's not going to have any problem from the 4 to the 5 or 5 to the 6. And he got perfect. He got the angle where you can just hit it a little below center, glance to the right, and you'll be perfect on the 6. Look where the 8 is. Perfect.
And with the pocketing of the 9, Niels extending his lead to 6-0 in this race to 9. And what an impressive TPA. Total performance average, 963.
Tough to beat that. You know, even if Shaw would have showed up and practiced a half hour, it still would have been tough to beat this.
Sure would.
Now, here's what I used to do when I played. You know, right now, Shaw has to beat Niels 9-2 or less to win this match. That's going to be a tall order.
Especially with Niels breaking and and as productive as he's been on the break.
Yeah, he's breaking it very well, but he practiced that a bunch earlier. Well, look at that. They flew in that left-hand pocket.
Great cue ball. Doesn't look like much trouble here. 2 to the 4, and even that, not going to be much of an issue, I don't think.
I don't either. When you start off with an easy look at Shaw, he doesn't look very happy. Shaw is a good friend of Jeff Conway's, who helps us sometimes with some commentary. But I don't think Jeff is going to be very happy about this score. And it could get worse. It probably will. You going to draw it, play it in the side? Yep.
Just
Okay.
make sure you get beyond straight in, so shape is automatic from the 2 to the 4. He'll play the 4 ball in the right-hand side pocket.
Yeah, he's got an angle to do that. He's going to go past the side with the cue ball going forward. Nicely done. Couldn't put it better with your fingers, because this assures having an angle on the 5 to go to the 6. Roll this in, and you will have that angle. Maybe to go between the 8 and 9 for position. Nicely. All he has to do is roll this in. I think he's going exactly between the 8 and 9. What do you think, Dave?
I think so also. And his cue ball speed has really been impeccable so far this match.
There it is.
And
Field goal position.
Yeah.
Stop, stop, stop. That's what he's got now.
stop the 6, 8 stop in the side.
Part 1. Well, he got a little angle here. I don't know if he could just stop there. He might want to go forward and shoot the 9 in the pocket where he's standing. That's what he's going to do, I believe. Yeah, he didn't get the stop shot here. A little angle.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Niels has made exactly one error, and that was position from to the 4. Well, no, I take that back. 2 errors. From the 4 to the 5, the one game where he didn't run out, that would be a position error. And then when he played safe on the 5 ball, and Jayson Shaw made the 5, which made a bad safety. So he's made exactly, I think, 2 errors so far.
I think he can live with it.
968? Yeah, I imagine.
He's going at a clip that is the highest so far. Of course, it's only the second round, you know, and we got a lot of great players left. Someone might come up with 1,000, but with the field that's going to be left, that's probably the only way you'll win for sure. Breaking great. He's not going to change his position. He's going to break from the same place. He's been doing real well with it. See if the wing balls go. The wing ball didn't this time. It hung up.
But the 2 ball saved him as far as, at least as far as continuing his run. Once again, I think he has a relatively easy bank on the 1 ball, automatic position on the 3. I fully expect him to.
Yeah, he's shooting.
Yeah. I mean, it's cuttable, but I think the bank is probably just a slight higher percentage. Just
He
a
didn't
touch
make
short on the bank.
See, that is something to do with the score. If it were Hill near the end of the match, he may have considered playing safe instead of betting the game on that. But you're a touchdown ahead, you know. It's not likely that Shaw is going to catch you. Although it's happened. Got to get on the 4. You know, when a ball's hanging, position usually is a little tough. You know, he's got obstructions. I don't know if this is going to be real good.
He's gone.
Now I know it isn't. He's got the shot, but it's a cut. And when you're cutting the ball thin, the cue ball flies around a little. Tougher speed to judge. He did it all right. I think he's just about straight in. I don't know. Well, you know, he's going to need an angle on the 6. Does he just want to stop there and keep that angle he's got?
He's going forward 2 cushions
he's
toward
going
the
forward.
6. He's too flat on the 6 for me. I would have played much more angle.
Well, that's why I consider just stopping there. You would have the angle automatically without a tough shot. And like Buddy Hall says, don't play position when you already got it. Well, he has the stroke to overcome the bad position. He's fine now. He's got to get on his horse. Great. He doesn't take much time.
And with the pocketing of the 9, Jayson Shaw gets on the board, trailing Niels FEIJEN 7 games to 1 in this race to 9. He is also in that one rack bumped his TPA from a 250 to a 625. But all right, players are taking a break. We'll be right back.
Carl Boys won the Bigfoot 10-ball challenge. Alex Pagulayan won the bank. Now we have to finish the 1 pocket today, and the 9-ball finishes Saturday evening. So we still have like 3 good days of pool.
How many total were in the 9-ball? 80?
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. See, we try to figure out why we're getting less numbers here than we get at Derby City. I think it's the geography. You know, Derby City has Louisville. There's no real big cities near here except going like 30, 40 miles north. But at Derby City, we get 300 entries or better in each division. But that has been going on a while. Maybe this will pick up, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good tournament. I like the area here. I like it better than Vegas.
I would like to see an event like this in the Atlanta area.
Well, there was talk about Atlantic City. There was talk about Cincinnati, but I haven't heard any talk about Atlanta. But you're right. That would get a zillion entries.
Yeah, I mean, you have, you know, not only the Florida, the players from Florida, but also, you know, proximity to the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. And Atlanta, because it's such a huge hub for the airlines, you can usually get cheap flights into there. So, you know, if you're flying from Seattle, it's going to be probably twice as expensive to fly to Memphis as it would be to Atlanta. So when you're taking travel cost into account, might be something to consider. That's
Dave, I go to Buffalo from here, and my flight goes to Atlanta first. So you're right about Atlanta. Atlanta is probably due south of Buffalo.
Well, Niels is back in his chair. We'll have to wait for Jayson. I haven't seen him approach the arena yet.
And here comes Kenny back in the arena.
And Jayson getting close. All right.
Of course, Kenny does everything. He cleans balls. He's a tournament director. He even marries people. I'm kidding, folks. Don't come here to get married by Kenny.
I guess I wish they could have seen the look I gave you. Like, well, how many different people does he marry? Welcome back, everyone. Jayson Shaw preparing to break the balls. He trails Niels FEIJEN by a score of 7 games to 1 in this race to 9. He finally managed to get on the board after a misplayed bank in the last game by Niels, and made a decent run out. Got a little bit out of line here and there, but overall he was able to pocket some balls and develop just a little bit of rhythm. So he definitely had to feel good about that, but definitely an uphill climb.
Yeah, I don't like his end of it. You got to play perfect from here to win this match. No more mistakes, no more misses, which he hasn't had many of anyway. Shooting a very high TPA. A good look at Niels. Well, I heard something fall. He made a couple balls.
And he's going to wind up with a good shot on the one ball. He may just have to draw off of the 6 ball just a little bit. I wouldn't go to the rail, to the side rail and back out. I think you can just draw the ball up a little bit off of the 6 and have shape on the 4.
Well, is it possible to just draw it and hit the 9 only? That would be ideal. Open the 6 up.
Yeah, I can't tell how much they cover each other.
Well, he's going to be a little bit. Oh, he made a great shot off the ball, but it's going to go too far. He has a thin cut. Position automatic. Is the shot automatic? Yes, it is. I don't see any problems. Shaw is going to get to 2, I believe. Nice stroke.
Well, Jayson is a powerful guy. You can see that just by his build, and pockets balls with authority, but has a really nice touch as well. So.
Well, that powerful stuff is great, but we're not weightlifting in this tournament, because we got little guys much smaller than him. They got just as much power. There's a whole bunch of them, and they're all Filipinos.
Cutting into the lead a little bit more. Jayson Shaw trails Niels FEIJEN 7-2, and he has also increased his TPA score, which is now at a 760 clip. So getting into the respectable range. He gets over 800, 850 or so, and
there they are. Our numbers.
Well, you can see the big disparity right there is the balls pocketed. Niels FEIJEN 62 and Jayson Shaw 19. So he's that evidenced by the score 7-2.
But he's still in the ball game. I know he hasn't given up. Just have to keep making the ball and running out. Well, he's making balls.
Part 1 accomplished, but Jayson is definitely not controlling the cue ball on the break like Niels. Nowhere close.
Yeah, he's got a kind of a long shot on the 1, but it brings position automatically. The 2 is in the side. Just don't miss. Can't afford any misses now. Don't what? Where are you going, 1? Niels is going to have a cut.
Yeah, it's not going far enough for Jayson Shaw, that's for sure. Niels may be able to miss the 8, but he may choose to play the cue ball into the 8 intentionally to play position on the 2 in the upper right-hand corner. So very thin cut on the 1. Let's see what position route he chooses.
How about banking it? You can bank it, get position for the 2, and snooker him if it doesn't go in.
That's what allowed.
He's cutting at it though, but I like the bank. You hit the 8, you might scratch somewhere. And he missed the ball. I like banking that. It was safer. See, all of a sudden now things are turning around, which can happen, and that's what Shaw wants to happen. The match can go his way like it didn't to start with. That's why you never give up. drew the ball, got to the side.
Play this in the corner and just float out just a little bit.
Yeah.
Shape automatic on the 4.
Pretty good. Straight shooter. Confidence is starting to build.
Is he living in the U.S. now,
He's
Jayson
living,
Shaw?
I believe, in the New York area, maybe
Okay.
with Jeff Conway. You know, that's his backer. Look how effortless he hit that ball, and it drew back like magic. But it seems like all those big left-handed guys do that. You know, they get that cue ball to draw by just touching it. Look, you got the perfect angle now to go one rail to the 8. Want to get straight in on the 8 and close as possible, and then you'll have the 9. Well, you got an angle.
2 of the lefties that come to mind immediately when you made that comment were Steve Miserak and, of course, Rodney Morris. And when you're in that kind of, you know, not to say Jayson Shaw's in either of their category yet, but big, powerful left-handers, definitely.
How about in the past, Jay Swanson?
Jay Swanson, absolutely.
Another big left-hander from San Diego. He left us a while ago.
Jayson Shaw just chipping away slowly but surely. Niels still in the lead, 7 games to 3. And Niels also still shooting at a .939 clip. But Jayson also up to 800 now as his total performance average.
Yeah, Niels had a miss there. Not an easy shot. He overcut the 1. But he's got to forget that inning. Next inning, he's got to think positive, go from there. Can't dwell on a bad shot.
And once again, this is a second round match in the Southern Classic 9-ball event. We just have a couple of players left in the one pocket. We are at the incredible Harrah's Hotel, Casino, and Event Center in Tunica, Mississippi. And, of course, again, second round in the 9-ball.
6th day of the tournament, the Southern Classic. We had another tournament before that. So actually, I've been here 9 days already.
And the event, the Southern Classic, started with 9-ball banks, which was won by your little buddy and mine, Alex Paguline.
Alex, great player.
He played some match in the finals of the banks. So we're going to have that available for you at Accu-Stats. And so you can go to Accu-Stats on the web, accu-stats.com, or 1-800-828-0397. I believe that's the number.
Yeah, it is. Call Pat Fleming up, Accu-Stats. He'll send you a catalog. Catalog has every kind of game, all the big matches in the last 19 years, I believe. Nice hit. Don't make the 2. He did make the 2. Things are going a little backwards now.
Well, Niels, I think he is going to bank at the 1 and stick the cue ball right there. It has a little bit of a safety element built in as far as distance goes, but automatic position on the 3 ball should he make the bank.
And the thing about shooting this is, if it misses and you get the cue ball anywhere near that end rail, which I think he will, it'll be tough to go from the 1 to the 3.
Right.
That's the whole thinking there. He wouldn't be really gambling by banking it, in my opinion, and yours. It looks straight on, too. That doesn't mean it'll go 9 feet away. Oh, he overcut it a little, but I think he's going to snooker him. Maybe. No, I don't think he got him.
Very difficult shot, but once again, you know, I think Jayson Shaw has the weaponry to go from the 1 to the 3, especially if the angle is shallow enough that he can miss the 6 ball. You have to hit it with a high, maybe just a touch of left, and with a really, I don't like
Position is tough. What's he going to try
He's
to draw
jumping.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like it. Well, this is why I like banking the ball, because if you miss it, the guy's going to have trouble getting from the 1 to the 3, and this is showing that if he gets there, he deserves a lot of applause. Look, how do you make a ball elevating that much 8 feet away? You don't. That's how you do it.
Anytime your opponent's elbow is over his head,
I like it.
advantage you.
Yeah. Okay. Did he get straight in on this ball?
No, I don't think he can make it. I think he's going to play safe. If it were my shot, I would shoot the 1 ball into the 5 and try to draw the cue ball under the 8.
Well, he's pretty close to the ball. To draw it, he's going to have to jack up. Look at that shot there. He's got a little room to cut it, but
He could actually, looking at it now, he could probably cut the 1 ball toward the 3 and bring the cue ball under the 6 or the 8. That's even better.
good thinking. I think he's going to execute it too.
He didn't get the
No.
snooker, but he's
The distance.
8.5 feet away with no offensive opportunity.
But I think Shaw's going to put him behind the 4 and the 5.
Yeah.
Just bank it, cut it a hair. You got the 4 and the 5 to get him.
Use the 3 ball to stop the cue ball's progress.
I don't think you even have to go at the 3. I think just straight on will do it. Well, he didn't quite do it, but he got him anyway.
I don't think so. I think he can hit the right-hand side of the 1. And if he can hit the right-hand side of the 1, I think Jason's probably going to find himself behind the 8 ball. Literally.
Yeah,
this case.
I haven't heard that term in a
Yeah.
while, behind the 8 ball. And we use that throughout life.
Yeah.
When a guy can't pay the rent, he's behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if he can do that. You know, it looks thinner than that to me. And if he could do it, I think he would have got up and done it. But what you got to worry about there is making the 7. You know, you're going towards that 7 1 rail. You don't want to play it safe and make the 7 because it's your shot again. He's trying to see where it's going to go.
Niels is looking at 2 rail kicking the 1 toward the 9. I would not shoot that. There's no way I would shoot that. If at the very least, right here, I would elevate and maybe soft masse into the right side of the 1, and you know, try to bank the 1 toward the middle of the end rail, bring the cue ball down table. So even if you don't get a snooker, I think by just elevating a little bit with a little masse, he only has to move the ball offline about an inch to hit the 1. So
And once again, if he gets the 1 long, position to the 3 will be difficult. That's what he's counting on. But
right.
he's kicking the long way here. I thought he was going to go 2 rails the short way, and he probably will. He was just trying to see where the 1 is going to go.
Do we have a camera angle on the other side where we can see the line of the 1-5? Yeah, right there. You see what I mean? Just a hair of a masse hits the 1.
He's
so
going the long way.
He's going the wrong way.
The wrong way. Long and wrong rhyme, you know. Anyway, Jayson continuing to have it roll his way now, and it didn't do it the first 7 games. He was losing 7-0. Now it's 7-3. And he's got ball in hand to start with, no position problem. So I imagine he's going to get out and get the 4.
I think Niels just got kind of a little bit of a block right there on his thought. I didn't know that the 2 rail was exactly the best option. So now Jayson's going to be able to cut into the lead, you know, even more. Niels has been on 7 for
This is the fourth game.
Fourth game, yeah.
Being left-handed, this is where he wanted to be because he could reach it nicely, cut it a little, play the 8 in the same pocket. Oh, he hit that too hard. Not really too hard. I thought it was going to fly around, but he got perfect. He can get close to the 9 now.
Game score now, Niels FEIJEN 7, Jayson Shaw 4. And once again, Jayson bumping his TPA up to 837. And we talked about before, 800, 850 considered world class, and over 900 top tier. Niels still at 913. We'll see if Jayson can get a little bit better. He's been making balls on the break, but he hasn't been controlling the cue ball very well. Let's see if he maybe changes position on the rack, or excuse me, changes breaking position. Maybe get a little bit better control on the cue ball.
I wouldn't change anything. It's going good for him. Do the same stuff. Ball flew in. He doesn't have a good shot on the 2. He can hit it, but I think the runs are over right now. You're going to have to beat him to the safety, but it's his shot.
What safety do you like here?
I like cutting the 2 on the left side and maybe go all the way down behind the 4. You don't have much target, but distance will get it once more. Very tough to put him behind that 4 because the 4 is almost on the rail, but he's going that path. I don't like just shooting it straight on and sticking. You're not going behind anything. Cut it, leave distance, and if you get him, it's a bonus.
He's pointing like he would like to bank the 2 ball behind the 3. That's wishful thinking.
Yeah, we're getting
my
a lot
opinion.
of pointing. I think he's going to shoot my shot now.
Yeah, there was no way to get the cue ball where he was pointing to. Now, this is probably the best opportunity that Niels has had in several games.
Yeah, he
Cut
does
the 2
have a
ball
shot.
in, cut the 2 ball in, the cue ball, 2 cushions toward the 5 ball for position. So
Yeah, he's got that. There's Jayson. He was rolling along. Now he looks like he has to wait and hope because Niels can get on the hill. Made the ball. Went at the 5, like you said. That got him position. The 5 didn't fall.
he wish it had.
I think so, because now you got that 1 extra ball. If that ball fell, it would have been nothing to go from the 3 to the 4 to the 6. Now it's a little difficult, a little more work.
Just drop down to the end rail, and shape becomes just a matter of controlling the direction and speed of the cue ball.
Right, this is the best spot to go to the 6 with, even if he went further and froze. Perfect
Even
1
better,
rail
right.
angle, right. But I imagine he's going to handle it.
I've seen Niels play this. I like going to the side rail beyond the side pocket, but I've seen him draw it to the side rail and just straight up there.
Like that.
Yeah, like that. He's just got such good command of his cue ball direction and speed, and
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to have a good angle on the 7 to get to the 9. Yeah, he can just draw the ball all the way down. He don't have to hit it high. He can do it either way.
Yeah, I think he likes to roll this ball, hit it high, and just come
Yeah.
across table.
Either way, I like to end up getting out. Of course, going forward, I call it the natural flow of the cue ball. Much easier speed to control than drawing it.
And Niels finally gets on the hill. And now the game score in this race to 9, Niels FEIJEN 8, Jayson Shaw 4, and Niels FEIJEN to break.
Now Jayson has to win 5 in a row to win this match. That's very tough to do with top players.
Especially playing winter break. I mean, well, actually, it's a benefit. And his,
Yeah.
I was thinking,
No.
it's actually a benefit for him.
No, we played the match last week, the ultimate 10 ball, and it was alternate break. So therefore, alternate break much tougher to gain 5 games. If Shaw can get a shot now, he'll have the chance to run 5 breaks, breaking them.
Nice control on the cue ball.
Where are you, one?
Oh, man. The 1 ball doesn't pass the 7 into the pocket, but a very easy safety right here. Roll the 1 past the 7, freeze the cue ball to the 7. And the one thing that I want to try to make sure when I shoot this is to not get the cue ball to the end rail. That makes the kick on the 1 so much easier to pocket. If he can just roll the ball to the side cushion.
He's looking like the 1 passes.
I'm almost looking down the line, and I'm
Yeah.
almost sure that it doesn't.
Well, he's not because he's still eyeing it up. But
Okay.
even if it goes, how do you get to the 2? No, he hit, your shot is real good. Roll, freeze him on the 7. That's what he did. He didn't quite freeze him, and now actually, with good players, I'm afraid to don't leave the object ball near a pocket because they'll break your heart kicking it in.
Well, that was my objective, was to leave the 1 on the side rail, and he hit it just a touch too hard. Jayson, I don't know that he's going to try to, he's going to try to bank to make it from where it is.
Well, even if he made it, getting to the 2 was going to be another story. He did all right because how do you get to the 2 now? You got to shoot this in the side, going 3 rails, the 7 enters. You don't want to play that combination from way up there.
I think he's going to play safe right here. I don't think he's going to bank. He looked at he just now looked at banking the 1 past the 6, but I don't like that very much. I would probably go off of the side of the 1 closest to us and lay the 1 on the side rail and try to use the 2 and 5 to block. I can't tell exactly the angle,
Well, playing it safe here isn't as effective without the 2 going somewhere. It's still going to be tough no matter what. I like playing safe off the 2 because off the 1, you still don't have a real good edge. Shoot it and then play safe off the 2. And that's, oh man, he's not going to have trouble getting to the 2 now with ball in hand. That was a big blunder there, scratching on that shot. That's what Jayson needed. Ball in hand now. There's no position to play. There he is. He doesn't like what he did. You're still pretty much in command. 4 games ahead. He's playing the combination. I'm surprised at this. He's only doing that to make position to the 4 easily from the 2. And that's what he did.
Just cut the 2 in and bump the 4 over.
That's what he did. He's not straight in. He's got an angle.
You'll draw the cue ball 2 cushions out toward the middle of the table, I believe. The angle's pretty flat.
I think you can go forward and do that 2 rails.
Yeah.
That's what he's
Yeah.
doing. He's going between the 8 and 9. No, he just bunted. I don't know. This isn't
He
real
went
good.
between you and me, and
Yeah.
wrong.
He said, "I'll listen to Dave and Danny, and I'll do something else."
I'll do in between what they said.
He did it okay too. I would have just went
Yeah.
forward, played it in the side, but
Yeah.
that's why I'm doing commentary. No problem here.
I think the percentage of getting out the way you said was 98. The way he said, 92. Or the way he did, I should say. And to quote our good friend Mike Siegel, the player who plays the best percentages will win.
That's what it's all about.
Doesn't sound like much, 92 to 98, but it will show itself once in a while.
Yeah, every 98 games. Whatever that means.
Or 2 times every 100 games. I don't know. I guess that's right. It would show itself 2 times every 100 games for you, and whatever.
I got a better one. I don't care.
But, Jayson Shaw has made a match of this. Now he's shooting an 852 TPA. A couple of mistakes by Niels. He missed the bank, missed a thin cut on the 1. Excuse me, I love you, Niels, but you butchered the 1 ball that game. But you're still in the lead, 8 games to 5.
Oh, look at this. Position while you wait.
So, take your places, girls.
Cue ball stopped, and the 1 came for position. I think he's got enough angle to go 1 rail to the 2.
Now, this may be a situation where he shoots what we were talking about last time. Just hit it with a high inside ball and go 2 cushions out and play position on the 2 that way.
Yeah, he's fairly straight in. I mean, he can also jack up and draw it. That would get him position. Number of ways to do it. I always like going forward. Much better percentage. There's Niels and Bill Gibbs right behind him. I think Bill Gibbs is giving him some tips. He drew the ball. If I tried that, the cue ball would have went about 3 inches back. I would have never got there. Big, strong guy. Well, he didn't get exactly the right angle. He can go 2 rails now, I think.
He's got to go probably between the 5 and the 9. He's going to run
There he
into the
goes.
9. Ooh,
Oh, perfect.
thought he was.
Well, just
Careful
when you-
side pocket.
Yeah, just when you said that, English evolved, and he got to the ball. I'll tell you, he looks loose. You know what I mean? If this game was starting fresh right now, this match, he might be a big favorite because he's playing a little better right now than Niels. He's got to play. He's got to win 4 in a row. But you don't have to run out if you outsafe him in the middle of it. Perfect.
And his TPA is going to be into the high 800s, now at 871. And with the pocketing of the 9, within 2 games of Niels FEIJEN. Now the game score, 8 games Niels, Jayson 6 in this race to 9. Looked like it was going to be a rout early. I mean, it was a rout early. And Jayson got back off the mat, dusted himself off, and
With the help of FEIJEN's mistakes, look, most of his errors came in the last 6 games.
Yep.
We got a match. We got a match. If he can break and run out now, he'll be only 1 game behind. And that'll get, there's more pressure on you when you're ahead 7-0, and then all of a sudden you're only ahead by 1. A little heat on you.
definitely. Like, man,
I'm
how
just-
did I blow this lead? How did I let this get out of hand?
I'm just trying to tell the people, don't change the channel. You know, like a football
Yeah,
game
yeah.
is 40-3. You try to get Jerry Springer on. You know, we don't have that choice. We got an exciting match here. Don't change the channel. Niels is a little worried, and rightfully so.
He's like, please make 3 balls on the break and scratch. Get this over with.
Oh,
Unfortunately-
he made a few, but he doesn't have a real good shot at the 2.
The 2 ball does not pass the 4 ball, and doesn't pass the 7, cutting it in the side. Maybe
Well-
a little safety action right here. I would cut if I want to play
He's
safe.
shooting it off the 8. I wanted to call that. That's not a bad shot. He's shooting it off the 8 because position is automatic, and you might snooker
Well-
Niels. See it?
I've worked my way back into this match. I'm not going to play an in-off with an opportunity to let Niels win the match. I would cut the 2 ball, pass the 7 to the side cushion, drop the cue ball to the left of the 6. You've got the 6, 9, and 4 to use as blockers, and execution there, I think, is really high percentage.
Yeah, well, where it's going, I have to think about shooting it off the 8 because I think you might snooker him too. Let's see what he does. He did what I said, and he got position, I think. No, the last ball rolling snookered him, I think. There it is. He might be able to twirl it. Yeah, it looks like he could twirl it. And if he hits the 8, he'll love it. Perfect. Now he's got the angle to play the 6 in the same pocket. Well, we really have a match. And like I said, the heat is on Niels right now.
Niels is thinking he's not going to get back to the table.
Might not.
Might not, right.
Wait, this guy's breaking and running. I mean, he's making it look effortless. Perfect. Perfect. He's got the little angle to go closer to the 9. Oh, get that spot out of there.
Jayson Shaw now trails by only 1 game. Niels FEIJEN at 8. Jayson Shaw at 7. Let's take a look at the 2 ball shot off the 8. Beautifully struck.
Well, like I say, I would have tried that too, because position was automatic. You're on a roll. Anything can happen playing safes. Don't let the guy get back to the table. Of course, now it looks easy. Dave,
Yeah, we would be having an entirely different conversation had he bricked the 2.
You're right. You're right. Had he missed it, you would have been right. You're still right. It probably was the wrong shot, but he shot the wrong shot perfectly.
Oh, almost made a ball. It looked like the 4 ball went in and out. And, now Niels is really feeling the pressure right now, I guarantee.
Yeah, and he doesn't have automatic position with the 1 unless he banks it. Do you want to gamble on banking it? You control the ball better because you're hitting the 1 fuller. If you bank it, cutting it, position's going to be difficult.
Well, that's what. Let's take another look at the break shot. Watch the 4 ball, the corner ball. Watch it go toward the pocket. Boom, boom, boom. It tried to go in, but alas, not so much.
Those are tight pockets. 2 balls do not fit. Okay, what do you do here? You can play safe. You can cut on it. Maybe go 2 rails and get to the 2.
I might try to go between the 2 and the 3 toward the 4 ball with the cue ball and just bank the 1 to the middle of the end rail where he's standing. Distance and hopefully a hook.
He's not happy about a safe right now. He wants to shoot at his game.
Yeah.
He's going to cut this in and try to go 2 rails. Let's see if he can get position. So far, so good. He's going to get there.
Really nice position.
Beautiful shot. Now he's got to go way up table for the 4.
The 4 ball is the ball
Oh
closest
yeah, that's
to the
closest.
3.
That's right. You know, in other words, get good on the 3, and you'll get good on the 4.
Yeah, I think he can. I know he probably doesn't want to, but I think he can roll the 2 ball softly and play position for the 3.
Yeah, it's perfect. Roll it in, keep a little angle, or even straight in, you're fine. But at any rate, you better get out here. You don't get out here, Jayson is going to feel super, and probably you won't get back to the table
Probably
again.
so. The reason I don't like going to the left-hand side of the 9 is because to get down far enough to cut the 3 in, that puts you going away from the 4 with the cue ball.
And plus, you're passing a route with snookerdom. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, he got a little thin on this ball.
Are you going to cut it in and go swing the cue ball around the table?
No,
Or are
you
gonna
can go 2
kill it?
rails, and that'll give you a little more distance with the cue ball, and therefore your speed will be better. If you go 1 rail, you're crossing that 4 ball too close. You got to draw this 2 rails. I think he can do that. I think he can hold it.
You think is he going to hit it with a low right ball and kill the ball off the end rail a little bit?
No, you want low left because you want the cue ball to have more distance because you could shoot a little harder. But he's going to play safe. Not a bad idea because he could freeze him right on the 9. I think he can kill this. I think he can shoot it in with low left, and that'll get the cue ball to go a greater distance. And
Why does he want it to go a greater distance?
So you got better speed. You know, you got more of the table.
You're only 6 inches away from the ball that you're trying to play position on.
Well, I think had he gone 2 rails, he would have had a better shot than this even, which is right now he's got to feel great about this. But had you gone 2 rails, you would have had an easier shot.
Well, just a high ball.
With a hair left-hand English. Yeah,
Come up. If the cue ball winds up between the 5 ball and the right-hand side, that would be perfect.
Yeah, well, he's going that path. You know, don't miss. Nice shot.
Center cut. Cue ball speed, just a touch long.
Right. He doesn't have the great angle now, unless he banks it. Once again, I might consider banking this. It's an easy bank with automatic position drawing the ball.
I think I think the angle he has, he can play around the 7 for position on the 6.
You mean 2 rails, but then you got to worry about the side pocket. You know, the side pocket where the 6 is sitting. I would have banked this. I swear I would bank this. So would he.
Perfectly
That's the
executed.
best. That was the best way to get out here.
Yeah.
Good judgment. You know, a little tougher because, you know, you had a big lead and now it got shaky, but you got perfect here. Yep. Tough to do what he's doing under the circumstances.
Yeah.
But he's doing it, and I think he's out.
Draw the cue ball back a foot or so.
Yeah, get straight in. You got a pocket. You know, you could cheat. He's got the perfect angle without cheating. And I think he's going to win this match.
Niels FEIJEN, the victor, 9-7 over Jayson Shaw. Niels took off out of the gate.
Yeah.
Jayson almost caught him.
Shaw has nothing to be ashamed of. He made a great run to get in the match. You know, he didn't do much wrong to get way behind, but that's the way pool is.
All right. Well, on behalf of Hall of Famer, my good friend Danny DiLiberto, the rest of the Accu-Stats staff, thank you very much to our signature sponsors, Diamond Billiard Products, Aramis Balls, and Simona's Cloth. We've got a whole lot more, not only 9-ball, but we're going to see more 1 pocket today from the Southern Classic.